This week, the entire artificial intelligence industry went through a major stress test. But I'm not talking about a technical one. This was a test of its finances and its legal standing. So we're going to break down the key events that show how AI is finally shifting from pure hype into a real, high-stakes business. One with absolutely massive revenues and maybe even bigger challenges. This one sentence right here from our source material, the Tech Reader AI Digest, it just perfectly sums up what's happening. This is the core theme for our explainer today. We're moving past the what if and focusing on performance. The big question is no longer just can it work? It's now who actually has the money, the hardware, and the discipline to survive and thrive in this new reality. So, what do we actually mean by a stress test? Well, it means the conversation is changing. It's shifting from, hey, can AI do this cool thing, to can you build a profitable and responsible business while doing it? The era of just pure speculation, that's giving way to the cold, hard reality of the balance sheet. For months, right? We've all heard the whispers of an AI bubble. But this week, the numbers started talking back, and they are talking loudly. So let's dive into the evidence and see exactly who is building the foundation of this new economy. First up, let's talk about the giants, the ones pouring the concrete and laying the digital pipes for this whole revolution. See, building the future of AI requires a truly staggering amount of capital and hardware. And as we're about to see, a few key players are absolutely dominating this space. Let's start with Amazon. $15 billion. That's the annual revenue run rate for their AWS AI business alone. CEO Andy Jassy just dropped this number, and you can bet it silenced a lot of skeptics. This isn't some far-off projection. This is real, massive revenue flowing in right now. And look, that $15 billion figure, it's really just the tip of the iceberg. It's all built on a foundation of just mind-boggling investment. We're talking about a $200 billion capital commitment overall. And to put that into perspective, just one of their partners, OpenAI, has pledged to spend $100 billion of that on Amazon's cloud. This is not a startup game anymore. This is a battle of financial titans. And it's not just about the cloud services. It's about the physical stuff, the chips. TSMC, the company that makes the world's most advanced AI chips for companies like NVIDIA, just posted its best quarter ever. That huge jump in revenue tells you one thing very clearly. The demand for the actual physical building blocks of AI isn't slowing down. It's accelerating. So if you think of Amazon and TSMC as building the power plants and factories, who's building the power grid? Well, that's where a company like CoreWeave comes into the picture. They've basically become the essential shared utility that almost every major AI player is now plugging into. And their grip on the market is just staggering. After landing some massive new deals, CoreWeave now hosts 9 of the 10 leading AI model providers. Just think about that for a second. They've effectively become the default operating platform for the entire industry. Now, that level of consolidation brings incredible efficiency, sure, but it also means a huge part of the AI world really relies on a single specialized provider. All right, so with that rock-solid foundation in place, we're now seeing this huge wave of companies building real products with clear business models right on top of it. This is where that discipline part of our theme really comes into play. And here are just a few examples from this week alone. Anthropic is launching these AI agents that can handle complex business tasks all on their own. Perplexity is evolving beyond a simple search tool into an answer engine that actually synthesizes information for you. And Shopify, they're embedding AI tools directly into their platform for millions of merchants. The point is, these aren't just cool experiments anymore. These are focused, revenue-generating products. Speaking of revenue, just look at Perplexity's growth. It's astronomical. Their annual recurring revenue jumped 50% in a single month. To hit this number, it just goes to show how incredibly quickly a focused AI application can find its market and scale, especially when it's built on that solid infrastructure we just talked about. Okay, but with all this growth and all this power and all this revenue comes a new and much more complicated set of problems. The runaway success of AI is now colliding with the real world, and you can be sure the legal system is starting to pay very, very close attention. So a minute ago, we talked about the shared utility layer that's driving all this success. Well, now the industry is facing a shared responsibility problem. The very same tools that are creating so much value are also creating these complex legal and ethical burdens for the people who make them. Now, to understand what's coming next, we need to get familiar with this legal concept, duty of care. In simple terms, it means you have a responsibility to prevent your product from causing harm that you could reasonably see coming. And this very idea is about to be tested in court for the first time with a major AI company. Here's the chain of events that led to this massive legal showdown. Following a tragic shooting, it came to light that the attacker had interacted with ChatGPT more than 200 times. As a result, Florida's Attorney General is now investigating OpenAI. This sets up a landmark question. What responsibility does an AI company have for the misuse of its tools? The outcome here could set a huge precedent for the whole industry. And as if that weren't enough, there's another high-stakes legal battle just around the corner. The trial between Elon Musk and OpenAI is literally just days away. But this case isn't about product liability. It's about the very soul of the company. Musk, who was an early founder, is arguing that the company abandoned its original nonprofit mission to chase profits. The results of this trial could fundamentally reshape how AI companies are governed. Okay, so we've seen the massive financial boom and the very serious legal challenges that are emerging. So what does the stress test tell us about where the AI industry is actually heading? Well, the big picture shows a really clear shift. The industry has definitely moved past that initial boom phase, the one that was all about hype and a million different startups. Today, it's a real business. It's defined by real revenue, it's confronting very real-world problems, and it's becoming more and more dominated by a few consolidated titans. So if you're going to take away just 3 things from this whole explainer, let it be these. First, the money is very, very real. The AI business model is proven. Second, the field is consolidating around a handful of huge infrastructure players. And third, the legal and ethical rulebook for this new world, well, it's being written right now, in real time, right in front of us. And that leaves all of us with a final and pretty crucial question to think about. We've seen that the companies with the revenue, the infrastructure, and the discipline are the ones winning this stress test. But as these titans grow bigger and more powerful, who gets to decide the rules that are going to govern this technology and its impact on all of our lives?